Ha ha. Johnny, God Almighty, this is the Sweat Equity Podcast. You hate my call-in, my lead-in?
Change it up.
No, you got to be consistent. That's something we are not. We are not very good at being consistent.
Yeah, that's true. But, of all the things to be consistent about.
Speaking of which, consistency, we really are going to try to make an effort to have at least one of these episodes every Thursday. So we'll probably bank a few, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. Full transparency. If we were a bigger show, we may not say that, but I do have people that are coming up to me, clients, prospective clients, people we're talking business with, and they're like, I really like the show, man. What's going on? And you're like, oh, I guess
keep having babies, dude.
Well, yeah, mazel tov to me having a daughter. I didn't do anything. Did I tell you the doctor was making fun of me as he's delivering?
No,
because I'm so squeamish about anything that's involving my wife and her, feeling pain. That too. I get so nervous for her that.
Well, you feel it a little bit on yourself. You feel that.
Right. I'd rather him cut my taint open and try to pull a baby out than her having to do it.
Right.
And so he had a pretty good hate on me. I had my hair in a man bun because I hadn't showered for a while, and he was like, I can see her head. She has a little bun on it, and I was like, and everybody laughed in the room.
Doc.
Everybody laughed in the room, and I was like, God damn, that was a good hate, Doc. I can't even be mad at that.
He does that every day.
That was a really good roast.
He's got zingers for all the dads.
Yeah, that was this third of
it was a dude?
third of six babies. That day he had to do. So anyway, speaking of babies, our little baby sponsor is Grasshopper. They're small in data baby size, but big in power.
Backtracking.
You see how I weave that in? Some called me a wordsmith. Look, here's my thing with businesses. We talk to a lot of businesses that use their personal line as their phone. I mean, realtors have to be doing this. My mind's been on it because we're trying to sell our house and buy a new house. And a lot of these realtors just have their personal phone. To me, that's a weird, non-protective thing. You should just want to have a barrier between your business and your life.
Yeah,
I would think.
Realtors have that weird danger too built in, where you're meeting with people you don't really know and
for
all
sure
that stuff, and you're putting your personal cell phone out there. Come on.
And you don't have a lot of time to think about who you're meeting up with. You just gotta always be meeting, always be prospecting. Yeah. So, look, for the busy entrepreneurial person, this is you need a business phone line. If you're trying to act like you're bigger than you actually are, we have a lot of clients that are startups that they got to look legit online. We hook that up with their branding and website. But I always tell them, hey, use this Grasshopper phone line. Use it as an app. You guys can share it if you have partners. We're going to migrate over there. We're having some issues not issues, but it's our current carrier won't let us leave with our phone number. So
they love us so much.
We're working on it. So we're going to go over to Grasshopper. It's scalable. It's a couple bucks a month, and our listeners get $50 off when you go to trygrasshopper.com/sweat. That's trygrasshopper.com/sweat.
Sweat.
That's $50, man. And look, it's like, I don't know, $12-$16 a month, depending on.
You got to do it anyway if you're going to have a successful business.
Hey,
just do it now.
Hey, maybe you're not even getting the business line. Why don't you just click on the URL? It makes us look like a bunch of sales are gonna come in.
Yeah.
We wanted to do a quick mini episode and video, man. We're all up in video. I just came out of a meeting talking. I had that question of, well, what is your firm or agency? What do you want to do? And I'm like, I really see video in a lot of different ways, and I think we've been using it lately to communicate with clients when we can't coordinate a meeting.
Yeah.
I think it's like ultimate customer service or client service to do that, to go, hey, we can't meet up, but here here we're going to go over all the stuff that you may have asked in case you want to know.
Yeah, it's also proactive. You know, we're doing it not just for missed meetings and whatnot, with proposals and kind of just introductory stuff to see what we have going on our end.
Yeah, I think
people like to see you, see what you're doing.
And I think once we step it up a little bit with like transcripts of this podcast and that, I think it as far as working remotely, like 65% of our clients are out of the area. Mm-hmm. And I tell a lot of people, because we have a lot of business owners, you know, or CMOs or marketing directors, you know, it's hard. Save that, even if it's a 10-minute drive over here, save that 10-minute drive here and back, save that 20 minutes. We'll talk via Skype. We'll grab that video, and then we'll have that kind of just there if you need to go back. Yeah, the
face-to-face thing, it's weird. Like, it has its place to come to do a meeting, you know, at least once. But really, it might not be necessary at all. And you can do everything via Skype, whatever. But it's definitely going that way where you can do everything on video.
Well, I think we're not as global as we think we are. You know, like, I think we thought video.
What the fuck do you mean by that?
I think that we all thought video was going to be this thing that makes us connect with everybody. Mm. But, I mean, you've heard me bitch about this all the time. I'm zero for, like, 750 video calls where it doesn't. I don't have. I've
Without
never
a
had.
hitch.
It's never gone easy. Even though if I send an email, hey, start the Google Hangout 15 minutes early because you're probably gonna have to download a plugin, or here's the link, you know, or you know something like that, or my computer crashed, and they don't have a backup device of sorts. So, like that alone is a huge hiccup for people who don't want to do video anyway, video calls.
Yeah, but we're fighting the good fight and figuring it all out for everybody else. Like, we're doing all the research on what's working best and whatnot. So
it's problem solving, right? So that's one of the main problems with doing it. It's not necessarily that people don't. I mean, we're imbibing video more than ever. I mean, we're seeing it in trends with Facebook wants to compete with YouTube on that level. Now we're seeing content creation basically becoming the new TV channels, YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook. Obviously, you can see them making moves. They were very smart about migrating you over to like, hey, this is the new programming we're doing, original.
Yeah.
Deal
with it. And
then we're not even to the Netflix, the on-demand Netflix, HBO, Hulu, all that stuff. So, you know, I think our goal, I told him our goal is we need to be a YouTube registered agency, and I'll put it on this podcast because it might make us accountable. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's an attainable goal, but I think the tactics we're doing to get good creative is huge. You can jump in. I feel like I'm steamrolling.
No, I mean, I think you're getting at the, you know, what we're doing just for clients directly in terms of their own content creation, working with Damien, 208 Monkeys, and
he's getting married. Shout out.
Yep.
You'll be there.
Woo. It's going to be.
I wish I could. A fantasy wedding?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones-ish?
Yeah, it should be fun.
What are you, a nymph? You're playing.
You keep saying nymph.
You're a eunuch?
What
is it? A guy with no penis?
With no penis. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be in a court jester outfit, and Damien hasn't really filled me in on what I'm doing in less than 48 hours. But
shocking.
I'm a pro, so I'll figure it out.
Improv, man.
Yeah.
You know, just do a little, do some improv games before you start. You know, get all the weirdos around and go, we're lifting a big manhole cover together.
Yes.
All right, now everybody on the ground and pretend you're bacon.
Yeah.
What does that bacon smell like?
Oh, man.
Have you never taken an improv class?
No.
Oh, there's
kind of. High school, I did a little bit of.
So, like the corny games you play, like that.
I know.
What does it taste like?
If
you're bacon, what kind of bacon would you be? The soft kind?
Not too long ago, I tried just looking them up online to try and do them with my kids, but Avery wasn't quite old enough. Yeah. Now I think she's a little bit better off to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But don't get them down that route.
I don't want them to, though.
No. Improv people are really positive. Don't get them in the stand-up route. How about that?
Yeah.
But video, we're finding it's funny when we bring video up, I have to make sure to preface or give a caveat. I'm not just talking about marketing, and I'm not just talking about just content.
Mm-hmm.
I think one big use is in the employment area. We think that's the hidden cost. You know, you run a business that has employees. Human capital is one of your biggest costs and one of your biggest frustrations. So if you can cultivate this scene using video,
mm-hmm.
You want a waiting list of people that want to work where you are.
Yeah, it can be much more time efficient if you have videos in terms of introductory for new employees, whatever. You can run videos. Not smaller businesses aren't going to. Some might, but most of them aren't going to have introductory instructional videos. You know, here's the bathroom. You know, you got these days off. Whatever it is.
Well, it doesn't have to be corny. Like
it doesn't, but
hey,
you know,
here's the grill.
Yeah, no.
Keep it spotless at the end of the night. Like you don't have to do it like that.
You're thinking that movie Waiting? Is that what you're thinking about?
No, I auditioned for Waiting too, though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, one of the
How
producers is a Tampa guy. I got it. I'm in it. No, I'm a terrible actor. I think the line was like, "Hey, what's going on over here?" Like I think, and I couldn't do it. I remember going to Santa Monica on my lunch break as like a 22, 23-year-old.
Anyways, part of that movie, the dude's watching intro videos in the back room, but that yeah.
Well, it needs to be interactive. You know, like I think you need to have something like we talked about. Did we talk about the Florida tickets, like speed tickets thing?
No,
I'm sure every state has it. You have a speeding ticket, they make you do like the 4-hour course. You can do it at home now, but they do like every 6 minutes. They go like, "What was this thing on the screen?" or something like that to make you have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I'm always ADD'd and doing 3 things at once.
Yeah.
Sometimes all not that great, but
crossing.
But I mean, like, you know, the laptop watching TV kind of thing, laptop out.
Yeah.
I'm watching football or something. So like there has to be some engagement, I think, to make it a lot better. And when I was looking up certifications for Facebook for us, because we're doing so much on there, we might as well study for it.
Probably won't even have to study that much. At least you won't.
I don't know, man, because I know I learned from guys that taught me like almost like a street way of doing it, almost like
street smarts.
Kinda like they wouldn't explain stuff with like, oh, here's cost per impression. They'd be like, you know, per thou, they call it or something like that. And so like just that little tweak of the way they just use the description can mess you up. So anyway, but I think that certification I was looking at, it goes through Pearson View, and I looked at like the rules. If I took it here instead of a testing center, I have to clear all the stuff off the walls. I have to take everything off the tables. I can't have any other devices in the room with me. I have to take the webcam and show them everything in the room. And I was like,
that's probably just ceremonial. They already know what's going on.
Well, I mean, I was like, that's aggressive, but I get it.
Well, yeah.
If I'm on their side and I want to create legitimacy for this.
Yeah. And
they said there's an online proctor. I don't know if there's like a tiny screen at the top right that's always there where the dude or lady's watching you.
Is it messed up? I'm already like trying to think of ways to cheat it.
I did too. I was like,
what if you draw it on the wall?
I can just tape an iPad to the bottom of this, or get a false bottom in a Bible. What are they going to do?
Put the fake glasses on with the open eyes.
I was like, you could do cue cards like the Oregon football team.
Yeah.
Like it's got 4 icons on it. Yeah, I don't know. They said if you look off screen, like you're talking to someone or looking at someone, looks like you're trying to get answers, like shit will be terminated.
Might be a sketch idea. Hold on, I'm gonna write that down.
So it's I think this is going to become more and more prevalent. Like that kind of I was thinking about it more and more. Like that's got to be the way things are going to go with testing and using video to engage remotely.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
No, I mean,
we know it's there, but it's not like commonplace, you know?
Yeah.
So I think like on the marketing side, trying to use video to get employees is huge. we've done a couple of campaigns for that. And if you think about what's the cost, we talk about cost per lead in the online marketing game. I got a ClickFunnels thing from Kat Howell. If you want to follow her, she's got great stuff about Facebook ads. So it's like a good updater. It's like your friend like once a week, like, hey, Facebook changed behaviors to interest now, so you can't do all the job titles you want. And it's like, thank you.
Cool.
So
Cat houses C or K?
C. I'm trying to get her on the show. We've been talking back and forth. And then I looked at her stuff and I was like, oh, I didn't know she's like a little celebrity in this world. But her and I have been going back and forth. She had a ClickFunnels kind of calculator that said like for real estate, $27 per lead is pretty standard. I think she's in Australia or New Zealand, so I don't know if that's U.S. or worldwide or what. However, so you think about that in the terms of, you think about it in terms of employment. You're hiring someone. What's the cost per quality candidate? It's usually high. It's usually
I'm sure,
because what the ROI on hiring a bad employee is like negative 300% ROI.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. I mean, not straightforward, but it's simple to figure that out.
And then how do you? And then once you find, let's say you get past that point, you can procure good talent, all that stuff. You can hire well. You don't need anything. That onboarding part you've been talking about. How do you empower them without doing everything for them?
Yeah.
So it's like creating your own course.
Or making them feel insignificant by watching a video and not getting a human
sort
of thing.
Right. So it can't be just all onboarding videos for sure, but it definitely could be like, here's the flex time as you're getting up. You got to be here for 4 hours during the day, and then another 4 hours you can get your stuff. Because I don't know if you remember, I was thinking about when I was unemployed, loser living in a garage in LA, and then went to being employed, and you're like, oh, I have to get all my I have a different routine that's not 9 to 5, and now I gotta
get a watch.
I gotta get all my shit together to be able to do it, And now I think about it with kids, it's like you gotta get a daycare, you gotta make sure that's good. So, I mean, shit. So, I think I gotta make sure.
No, you're good. I'm watching.
All right. Got a video. I'm gonna FaceTime with someone about a big website right after this, and it's like, I know this will go. This is the first meeting. I know it'll go well because it's FaceTime.
Yeah, they're on top of things. They know.
But
what did you say? They didn't say go to meeting?
If they were like, we're going to send you a go to meeting, I'd be like, I don't think this is going to work really well.
You know what? Never mind.
But the fact that it's a pretty big corporate place that this manager wants to talk about a website via FaceTime, I think it's huge.
Yeah.
It's those little things you can kind of pick up on over time.
Yeah, the type of guy that might be interested in what we got going on compared to the old school reference, the last podcast, or not the last podcast, but the podcast about the $40,000 a year unicorn sort of thing.
And then video-wise, I think we can break it down into 3 parts. If you want to do video well, here's how we kind of see it, right? You have creative and pre-production. And this is where you and I fucked up a long time ago when we tried to do sketches.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't really write down dates and like see our availabilities. We just get an idea and just focus on the spitballing part.
Right. We've had so many good ideas that never came to fruition. I was just breaking one down.
We're baking. No, we can look. We ease up our labor here. We get some interns in here. Then we have a little bit more time to do some of the fun stuff in the office, like shoot sketches. But like, it's so attainable to do the production now. Like I just sent a client a link to a DSLR camera, like a Canon Rebel.
Yeah. T6.
T5i.
I think it was T6.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. That's what.
With all the accessories, it's like $600.
Yeah.
And like lenses and stuff too.
And like the size of a TV you would need to be able to tell the difference in the quality that this camera's producing would be huge.
Right.
And everybody becomes a movie maker.
Lights are $100. People don't stress lighting. I realized working with the 208 guys.
Oh, those $100 lights are worth thousands in production value.
Lights and audio are secretly they will take you out of, like, we probably lost people because the intro music audio was so crusty because
that hottie toddy bullshit.
No. No, but
I'm keeping it.
I'm fucking keeping it. I've been doing it for 6 years on the other podcast. The lights and audio spend a little bit there, and it really can look super professional. And you can buy used shit on eBay probably for. You can probably get all that stuff together for what? Probably $300 used, $350 something.
I think you can get it new. I mean, are you talking about the camera too?
I want everything: camera, all the accessories, lights, and like a good shotgun mic that goes on top of the DSLR.
Yeah, that's
and maybe those
used.
And those iPhone. You can get $20 iPhone lav mics.
Yeah,
lavalier. The ones that go around on your collar.
Right. Yeah. No. If you wanted to do it new, $1,000 probably get you basically a studio setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And so we've been testing that model with clients that, you know, they're in that small medium business range, and we can set something up in their office. And our goal is to figure out how do you do ongoing video. How do you empower the client to do it on their own? Teach them.
Especially that creative part you were talking about. That's for clients. That's going to be a tough part.
Well, look, it's human behavior, right? Like us working on our own website is the same thing. It's you know, it's lingered. It's in the background. We'll get to it, but it's more important that we focus on client work first, and then you scramble to like go, oh no, we need to revamp it before this big meeting. So. There's you know, I get that. I get that aspect, trying to get better at it. But I'm trying to think of I had something else for video.
I don't know. You're talking about 3 parts. You had the first part being a creative.
Oh, yeah. The whole process. So you have the creative and pre-productions. That's part 1.
Mm-hmm.
You have the production, the filming, and then post-production.
Mm-hmm.
And those 2 sections used to be like 3 sections, really.
Yeah.
Pre-production, and then post. But now we've kind of scrunched those parts into 2, and the third part is now performance. Placement and performance. I'm gonna use all P's, I think.
Pop them P's.
Thanks for these. Thank God for these pop filters on the mics. So placement. Where is this going to be shown? You know, that's important now. On everything. So pretty much anybody shooting a video has to think about that now. You're not like getting friends at the house to look at video.
Yeah.
You know? So you can put it on YouTube. All right, when are you going to do it? Are you going to tell people?
Mm-hmm.
What's the strategy? Are you going to put money behind it?
Is it formatted in a way that's maybe Facebook or Instagram or whatever wants them to have?
This Mevo camera live stream might not be.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot going into it, that's for sure. They still need us. You can't just do it all by yourself.
Oh, yeah, but I do like the YouTube small agency kind of motto. That's why I want to get certified for that. Plus, there's not anybody in Tampa yet.
Yeah, and what it is YouTube certifies businesses that can come in and produce YouTube, I guess, coherent video, if that makes sense. If
there's a quality level.
Yeah, they want to make sure you meet certain criteria, and YouTube then gives you some sort of what was it? Oh no, it's if you spend enough ad revenue with YouTube.
It's not that much. It's like $150 a month.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, then the YouTube ad agency comes in and they'll set it up and they'll run it.
So I think the goal of 2018 would be to be that overall holistic, come in and do that, certified, and then if you're listening out there, we want to give pragmatic advice. You can get the YouTube Director app and try to shoot something by yourself. Now try to listen to what we just said about lighting, audio, you know, framing. There's free tutorials everywhere that'll tell you the basics. Just try to think logically before you shoot something, because the examples they have on there, they're not that great.
I know. I was surprised.
So I was like, why would you show these lawyers that the lower third comes in the graphic, and it's like...
Maybe that's why you only have to spend like $150 in ad revenue.
Well, I think that's the lead-in. I think it's like the boosted post on Facebook. It gets you interested in advertising, and then
it really doesn't do anything.
maybe you get into it. All right. That's been our time. Subscribe, share this with a friend. Hit up Grasshopper phone lines. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. And no outro music because I didn't play it. Buy us some time for a second, and I'll.
Okay, you want me to just sing the outro music? How's it go? Oh, he's getting it.
There you go.
All right, that works.
Now we just lost subscribers. Thanks for joining. I love your guts.
Bye-bye.